Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today we're going to be talking about the NFC West and why the Rams got exactly what they wanted to have happen on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to explain because I know a lot of people were very upset that the 49ers won, but you have to keep in mind something. The Rams do have the tiebreaker, and we're going to get into the different things that are going on and why Seattle could be down for the count if they don't watch it, which could help out the Rams even more. Before we dive into that, though, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And today's sponsor of the video is BetUS. You will get 150% sign-up bonus, deposit bonus, when you use the code YouTube150. In addition to that, the next two deposits will be 125% bonus. So be sure to get in on the action there, BetUS, and use the code YouTube150. So guys, with this right now, I had a lot of people asking me for this video, hey, can we do, during the bye week, can we have some update on the NFC West? Absolutely. So right now, the NFC West, as it stands, the San Francisco 49ers are the leaders in this division at 3-3. Seattle relinquishes the lead after the loss to the 49ers, their third straight loss to the not just to the 49ers, just third straight loss in general. They lost to now the Lions, they lost to the Giants, and now the 49ers. And the Cardinals are in third place at 2-3, and the Rams are 1-4. Now, I have alluded to this in live streams before. The Rams are probably going to have to win this division if they want to make the playoffs. Just the way the NFC is looking, the NFC North is no joke, okay? Everyone is above 500. You have the Lions and Vikings that look really good. The Packers are still a team that you can't just forget about. And the Bears honestly don't look that bad. They got a great defense, and they should win this weekend against the worst secondary in football statistically, the Jacksonville Jaguars. But again, point I'm making here, it's going to be hard, right? You got Washington being better than many anticipated. Maybe not myself. I did expect Washington to be very good. Maybe not this good, but you have teams like that, right? You have the Falcons, who I think are really going to emerge. You have the Buccaneers, who are not going anywhere. So look, there's a lot of teams, right? There's only 7 slots, and 4 are guaranteed if you make the playoff, if you win the division. So the Rams are going to have to win the division in all likelihood. Now, can that be done? Absolutely. I'm going to explain how, why I believe this. First off, let's talk about the Rams have the tiebreaker of the 49ers. This is why the 49ers had to beat Seattle. They didn't have to beat Seattle, but this really makes it a lot easier. You start to feel like you're in a hole. If Seattle has 4 wins and you have 4 losses, you don't want the leader of the pack to have an inverse of your record. But the reality is the Seahawks just aren't that good, okay? I know they're banged up. I know they have injuries, but they're losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. They lost to the Giants, okay? Looking at the 49ers, very banged up team in their own right. Well, 49ers went on the road, and they came out strong, and they ended up winning this game. And I didn't really think, I know Seattle made a comeback there, but it didn't really feel like Seattle had much of a chance. So I'm not really high on Seattle. To be entirely honest with you, you'll understand more when we talk about the next 5 on the schedule, but I'm not overly high on Seattle. I'm just not. I always kind of thought that they were pretenders. They played a bunch of, like the Dolphins without Tua Tagovailoa. They play the Patriots after their win over the Bengals, which made people feel like, oh, the Patriots might be good. Now the Bengals haven't really done anything this year, and the Patriots, I don't think, have won a game since. So that's the thing, and that took overtime to beat them, right? And then, of course, you look at the Denver game, which I thought would be a blowout, and you have a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix who almost won that game, right, on the road. So I'm not high on Seattle. They have talent, but I just haven't seen what I need to see. With that said, now you talk about Arizona. And this is the interesting one because the Rams don't currently have the tiebreaker over the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals are 2-0 in their division. So as you guys know or maybe don't know, The Rams playing a team twice, if they split, it would go to division record. And the division record right now would be the Cardinals. The Rams are 1-1 in the division. The Cardinals are 2-0. So the Cardinals would have the outright tiebreaker, and that could loom large, okay? They're one game out of the loss column, the Rams are. So that's a really good sign. And again, keeping the maximum wins right now to 3 instead of having it at 4 really kind of keeps you in it. This can also help mentally too. Not saying the Rams really care. They know they have to take care of their own business, but this can help mentally too. Seattle's faltering, like I mentioned, lost 3 straight. The 49ers, they beat Seattle. Aside from that, they lost a game they probably should have won to the Cardinals. They lost, a game that, like, let's be honest here, the 49ers just have not been playing their best football, right? They lost to the Rams, a game that they probably should have won, definitely should have won. But now the Rams, a needed bye week, recharge, refuel, regroup, reevaluate, all of that. And I think, there's a good chance they're going to get Cooper Kupp back for week 7 against the Raiders. They'll probably get Avila and Jonah Jackson and Puka Nacua and John Johnson back by the Seattle game or around there. Joe Noteboom as well. So I think right now the Rams are in a good spot based on what they can control and what they can't control. So right now, say what you will, but the reality is, they're 1-4. I get it, not the best spot there, but they will be getting players back. They're not a bad 1-4 team where you're like, oh, this team just has no talent. They're a 1-4 team that essentially has the talent, has been banged up, and plays in a division that is giving them the opportunity to get back in this thing. So the next 5 games for the Rams, right? The next 5 games are going to be the Raiders, Vikings, at Seattle. Then you have the Dolphins and at the Patriots. Now, talking about those 5, I think the Rams should win at least 3 of those. And if that's the case, then that would put them at, let's say, so they win 3 out of the next 5. So they would be 4-6. They'd be 4-6. Okay. That's not a damning thing. And in addition to that, going into week 11 last year, they were going into that Seattle game, they were 3-6. So I do feel like that kind of puts them in position. 4-6, you're not out of the woodwork. If you come in, if they win 4 out of 5, that would be a really big help. But in addition to this, let's talk about this because the Rams' 5 games, I think, are opportunities. I think they should beat Seattle. They should beat the Dolphins. They should beat the Patriots. They should beat the Raiders. Okay. If we're being honest, they should beat 4 out of 5. The Vikings is going to be a tough game. They still can win that game. And furthermore, I don't want to, read too much into this because I don't know how much it really matters. But Chris Long brought it up. It's been brought up on my show. People have been talking about this. The Vikings play on a short week after playing the Lions. Every team that has played the Lions has lost the following week. Very similar to the 49ers last year. So, yeah, I kind of feel like if that's the case, then, yeah, the Rams have a chance to run the table the next 5 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people have given up on them, given up on the season. I obviously have not, and I don't think really you should because this is a team that has talent. They've been banged up with injuries. They've lost games that they probably win in other years. It's just been, it's been frustrating, but at the same time, you look around the league and there are teams that aren't playing anywhere near as well or playing very similar to how the Rams are playing or maybe not playing at the highest level. And, what you have is like, for instance, the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a great defense. It's why they're 5-0. It's definitely not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes looks probably worse than he's ever looked. 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, droppable picks. Picks have been dropped, whatever. That's a problem. Right? But they're getting away with it, right? They're still winning games. Defense is helping. They're still finding ways to win, right? So it's minimizing the damage. But the Rams aren't turning the ball nearly as much over. Matthew Stafford hasn't been as careless with the football as Patrick Mahomes. And so, you still see 1-4 instead of 5-0. So that's just the way it is. That's just sometimes how it goes. With the 49ers, they got the Chiefs, the Cowboys, at Tampa, Seattle, and at Green Bay. To be honest with you, the 49er team that I've seen the last couple weeks that is banged up, that hasn't really looked all that great, they're probably going to lose to the Chiefs. They're going to beat the Cowboys. They're likely going to, I don't know, that Tampa game's a toss-up. I might lean Tampa since it's on the road. Seattle, they'll win. And then at Green Bay, they could lose that. So there's a real possibility here. The 49ers lose 3 of the 5 games, the next 5. And that would put them, if that happened, they would be at 5-6. So that's a help. Still, one more win than the Rams, but that would be a help. And by the way, one more win if the Rams only win 3 games. Let's make that clear. So that would help. Then the Seahawks. This is where the Seahawks can get buried. They're 3-3. They're sinking. They've lost 3 straight. They really just felt like pretenders at the beginning. They go to Atlanta. I do not like them in that game at all. I love Atlanta, the way they're playing right now. I think Atlanta is a tough team to beat, and I think that they win that. So Seattle loses. Then they have the Bills. I would take the Bills. They have the Rams. I would take the Rams. They have the 49ers. I would take the 49ers. And the reality is, the real question to be asking is, was this detrimental to the rest of their season for Seattle? Because Seattle does not have an easy 5 games. The Cardinals are the 5th game. I can't sit here and say that, like, with confidence, the Seahawks are going to win any of these 5 games. So that's how last night became really important. Because now you can kind of bury Seattle here. If Seattle loses the next 5 games, they go 3-8. That would be 8 straight. Now, it's the NFL. They'll probably find a way to win 2 of them that they don't deserve to win, whatever. If that's the case, fine. But this is where this comes into play. This is why Arizona, to me, is actually one of the biggest threats here, because I don't really look at Seattle and worry about them. They're going to get healthier. That's true. But I just question how good they are in general, right? So then you have the Cardinals at Green Bay. So that's a huge game this weekend. If the Cardinals win, they secure first place due to the tiebreaker in the NFC West. However, if they lose, now they're 2-4. The Rams are not far out of this thing. They are not far out of this thing even if the Cardinals win. But if the Cardinals lose, that really helps them out. So hopefully Green Bay going into SoFi and winning, hopefully they can at least return the favor and beat the Cardinals. If they can't, well, then I think a lot of people are going to be annoyed with Green Bay. But they got Green Bay in Green Bay. They got the Chargers. I think they beat the Chargers. They got Miami at Miami. I think they beat Miami. They got the Bears, Jets. We'll see. Those are toss-up games. The Cardinals can come out of this thing 5-0. They can. They are a good enough team. What I've seen is they're battle-tested. These are not tougher teams than the teams that they've played. The Packers are about right on par. So there is a realm of possibility here that the Cardinals are 7-3 after the next 5 games. That is truly possible. But likely? No. I would say the most likely scenario is that the Seahawks win maximum 1-2 games. The 49ers win maximum 2-3, and the Rams win in between 4-5. And I know that sounds crazy. I truly think the Rams, having the schedule they had to start, aside from the Bears game, that was not an easy schedule, right? Now it's starting to get a little bit easier. They're playing a Dolphins team that's kind of banged up right now, and I just don't think it's as talented as years past. The Patriots aren't very good. Seattle's not very good, in my opinion. The Vikings will be coming off playing the Lions on a short week, and the Raiders. So there's really no excuse. The Rams just need to take care of business. But as far as that's concerned, if I'm making a prediction, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up playoff predictors right now, and I'm just going to pick this division the next 5 games. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about these games. So we'll do right now. Rams have a bye week. I think the Packers beat the Cardinals. I do. The 49ers already beat Seattle. Move on to week 7. I think the Cardinals beat the Chargers. And I think the 49ers lose to Kansas City. Kansas City has a mini bye week as well, so it almost kind of nullifies that. And then, oh no, they have an actual bye week, I believe. Anyway, Seattle loses to the Falcons, okay? So at the moment, that would mean the Rams beat the Raiders. So at the moment, the Cardinals would lead the division at 3-4. The Cardinals will lead the division at 3-4. The 49ers would be in second place at 3-4. Seattle would be in third at 3-4, and the Rams would be in fourth at 2-4. Then week 8 comes along. We're going to give the Rams an L against the Vikings, just trying to be somewhat realistic here. Although I do think they have a chance to win that game, and I kind of lean Rams depending on who's available for that game and if this Lions thing is true. I think it's interesting. The Cowboys, I don't care if they're coming off a bye. They can't beat the 49ers in San Francisco, and I don't think they're that great anyway. So they go 4-4. So the Rams are 2-5. The 49ers are 4-4. The Cardinals are 3-4 right now. I have them beating Miami. That's 4-4. Seattle loses to Buffalo, 3-5. So the Rams going into week 9 are looking up, but they beat Seattle coming off a mini bye. They beat Seattle. They get to 3-5. Seattle goes down to 3-6, right? Then the Cardinals, I'm going to take them over the Bears at home, so they go 5-4 here. And then I'm going to say nothing because the 49ers are on a bye. So now week 10, the Rams I have beating the Dolphins at 4-5. I have Seattle. Seattle has a bye. Then the 49ers, I have them losing to Tampa on the road. So that they drop to 4-5. So the Rams are 4-5. The 49ers are 4-5. I'm going to say the Cardinals lose this game to the Jets. Jets are coming off a mini bye. They're 5-5. Okay. So then week 11 now, the Rams go to New England. They win that game against the Patriots. They're 5-5. The 49ers beat Seattle. They're 5-5. The Rams are now ahead of the 49ers due to the tiebreaker. Seattle is 3-7. Okay. And the Cardinals have a bye. So then week 12 comes along and the Rams have the Eagles on Sunday Night Football at SoFi with the Eagles coming off a mini bye. I like the Rams in that. I know we're going 6 games, but I like the Rams in that. They get to 6-5. The Cardinals are coming off a bye. They're going to Seattle. I think Seattle might get that win. It's in Seattle, whatever. Now, this is the path. The Packers playing the 49ers. 49ers win this game. It doesn't matter to the standings in that current state. And if the Packers win, then it really doesn't, it hurts them a lot. So let's just say, because I think the Packers do win that game. If that's the case, then the Rams would be just coming out of week 12, the Rams would be 6-5 if they win 4 of the next 5 games based on what I have and what I truly believe in. If the Rams do turn this thing around, and I do think they're going to, 6-5 for the Rams, 5-6 for the Cardinals, 5-6 for the 49ers, and 4-7 for the Seahawks. Okay? Rams have to turn this thing around. I can't do it for them, but I'm just telling you guys, this is possible. This is real. Okay? They have an opportunity here. If they were to go out and lose to the Raiders, we're talking a completely different tune. If they lose to the Raiders coming out of, I don't care how it happens. If that were to happen, then I would be totally understanding if you guys want to talk about the draft. At that point, it would just be, now you could say what you will. Oh, well, Jake, they lose that game, but then they win the next 4. True. But telling me, because that says something. The Bears loss was inexcusable, right? Packers lost. They should have won, but the Packers are a really good football team, and they're expected to be really good. If they lose to the Raiders, who are currently 2-4, don't know who their quarterback is because they keep going back and forth. If they lose to them coming out of a bye, that kind of tells me all I need to know about this team. Now, again, injuries, true, but that would really bother me. So Rams have a shot here. They really do. Margin for error is slim. You can really only lose one game if you're trying to get ahead of Arizona, because I think Arizona might lose 1 to 2 games. But yeah, it's really that simple. So, that's pretty much my outlook on the NFC West. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight on the NFC West and why I think that essentially this thing is wide open. And had Seattle won last night, think about the momentum it builds for Seattle. It's a huge win. Prime time. You start to feel a little bit different. They have 4 wins, whatever. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they start sinking like a ship. So that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. And you can check this out on, of course, podcast platforms as well as on YouTube, which you're probably already doing. And once again, special thank you to sponsoring this video to BetUS. Be sure, YouTube 150, hit it up, and that's going to do it. I'll see you guys soon. You guys take care. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.